We are back.
We're back, baby. Well, we're live.
Hey!
Jen. We are live.
Hey! Oh, what do we do? And now we're being filmed, which is a new layer of terrifying. Like I know not to look at the camera, but I kind of want to.
I mean, there's no way to start than
jumping back in. Do you realize I was talking to Charity, our producer, and it is almost to the day 2 years from when we launched this podcast today.
Yeah. That was
2 years.
2 years.
We are so sorry, guys.
27
the worst podcast ever.
27 episodes on the first season.
Okay.
And it did quite well.
So we're back.
We are back.
We're back.
Finally.
We don't remember how to do this, but we're back, and we're going to figure it out
It's
again.
going to be a little clunky. We'll get back into it. This is going to be a good one, though. This episode's going to be good.
It's going to be a good season. So I guess let's jump into where the heck we've been. If you've never listened to us before, my name is Jen Todrick.
Yes. That's who you are.
I am a mom of 3. I am on Instagram, The Rambling Redhead, and I had a show on HGTV. Well, have a show on HGTV called No Demo Reno.
Yeah. And you're a social media maven is what we'd call you,
What
right?
the heck's a maven? What does that mean?
Maven? Like
Sounds like a
boss
holy
lady?
woman. Oh, maven is a boss?
Yeah.
Why doesn't anyone say I'm a maven like more often?
They do. I refer to you 90%.
I've never heard a song being like, I'm a maven.
When people ask me who your wife is, I'm like, well, she's the maven.
You never said that in your whole life.
Yeah, I do.
Maven means boss? Sounds like
kinda.
a type of bird.
It's like, like I don't know. I'm
Are you
contextualizing.
sure?
Yes.
I don't think are you sure?
It's kind of like you have a whole bunch of ventures going on. You own it. You're you do very well at it.
What is a maven?
You're just going to go ahead and
The word maven comes from Yiddish.
Yeah.
Meaning one who understands.
Yeah.
That means you just understand a topic.
You understand social media. You're like the boss of it. You understand it. I don't understand it.
It does.
I don't understand this podcast.
Expert or connoisseur. So like a fashion maven, which I'm not, even though I do have a degree.
Which is kind of what I said.
It's true. Okay, fine. So I'm a maven.
Wow. Arrogant? I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm Mike. I'm the husband and entrepreneur, veteran, West Point grad, and
together we make a team.
And the husband,
doing very different things.
Yeah.
At the same time.
But it's fun. I'm excited to be back. I really am. This has been a long break. I
did miss this. I think the initial starting back into it was very intimidating for me, and not intimidating like I'm scared to do it. It was just taking on one more task. And let's back up. We paused, jumping straight into season 2 because I started filming season 3 of No Demo Reno. Mm-hmm. And so I just couldn't do both. It was exhausting. And we knew that. We knew that we were going to have to break for my mental state because I'm still doing all my stuff over on Instagram. And that's not only just a full-time job for me, but what brings me joy. I started that as a stay-at-home mom, and that always has brought me joy. That's what I really love doing every day. And then there's some days when I don't, and then I don't. But that's what I enjoy doing full-time. And so I still juggled that while filming the TV show. And so we always knew we were going to come back. We just thought it would be sooner than 2 years.
We filmed that first one because we would film 2 episodes or record sometimes even 4 episodes on a week, right? So I think it was about 10 weeks, maybe 14 weeks that we did that first one.
Yeah.
And then we had a hard, go back and listen.
On Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcasts, Apple, and they're all there. So there's a lot of content. If you're just finding this organically, we have a whole first season that's just very fun.
Yeah, and a lot of things talked about family, relationships, just behind the scenes things. It was, and even had your parents on one episode. That was fun.
Well, we've even structured this differently moving into season 2. Just really quick, what to expect. Same exact format. We really like it free form here. Mm-hmm. I think we want to keep that. We'll have a couple of guests on to things that are relevant to us.
Yes.
But then we're in a different space. So we were filming season 1 in our guest bedroom across a bed looking at each other when our kids went to sleep. And now we have a space, like we have set this up to be more structured. And so it's going to hold us accountable.
Well, that's the word. I didn't say more accountable. It's not like we didn't have the equipment. We just kept walking past it or having other people sleep in it. Like, don't mind the microphones. And
we're not recording, we promise.
Yeah. So last 2 years you recorded the season. That was a 10-month project. From beginning to end.
Every season of that show took about 10 months.
We've opened up 2 more Armor locations. We'll talk about that as well. So there's been a lot of growth in a lot of areas. And frankly, I think it just got down to time. And it was like
being spread so thin. We're forgetting we have 3 children.
And technically, we relaunched this in January, which we actually never relaunched. So now here we are in August.
Yeah, that's true. We thought we were going to launch it in the spring, and it, of course, didn't happen. But now it's happening.
Now
we don't need to talk about that. It's happening.
The dedicated space.
It did.
It really. This is what I think is going to make the difference.
Yeah.
So
not that y'all care about this, but
I think it turned out pretty.
I guess the only last new addition is that we are filming. Mm-hmm. Hi, YouTube. So this will be on YouTube. All the different angles. This will be on YouTube for those who want to watch it, and if not, don't worry. You won't miss anything.
And you can see
we'll explain everything.
Yeah, and you can also see my general contractor work that I did here. I personally laid the picture frame molding here. It was
pre-cut from Amazon, but he did push it onto the wall.
I did do that.
You did a very good job.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
You did the wallpaper yourself. This is true No Demo Reno style right here.
I'm actually pretty proud of the wallpaper application because you can't see seams, which is nuts. I totally redeem myself for any time I've done wallpaper poorly.
You remember the one you did at our house?
No, I don't. I don't remember that at all.
It was your friend. Weird. Your friend from Indiana.
I don't remember. I don't remember that hack job of a wallpaper I did. That was horrible.
It started out perfect, and then it sloped down to about a 5-inch gap at the end of the other wall.
Yeah, it was crooked. It was Berkeley's Nursery peel and stick wallpaper, and it stayed there until we sold it.
Did.
We sold it with that jank wallpaper up.
Well, it still was pretty wallpaper, and it turned out well.
It was.
So... Anyway, okay, so the pause, we acknowledge that, and we're back. We're intending to make this thing something consistent and fun, and we're going to do, hopefully, we're do a lot of the same things we did last season, talk with each other, talk about family, talk about the businesses and things like that, and we'll probably do things a little bit different. We'll have some guests on as well. We have some people planned. And
I'm going to have my physician on. We're going to talk all things hormone one week, women's hormones.
Some business leaders.
It'll be really fun.
Yeah, maybe the president.
Nope.
I didn't say of the country. I just said the president of a business.
We're going to keep guests still pretty limited, but
yeah, it'll be fun. It's going to be good. Okay, so 5 minutes into this already? I got to ask you. It's a big one.
Okay.
And probably the most asked question I have about you, the things I hear in DMs, if I do read them, in emails. And text messages. I had a telegram about it as well. Pastor. Truthfully, my family keeps asking about it. Is No Demo Reno over? Did you get canceled?
Did I get canceled? Mm-hmm.
That's the question.
Did I get canceled? Is that better for you, Charity? Thank you. Did I get canceled?
Yeah. Did you get canceled?
No. I did not get canceled. The show, No Demo Reno, did not get canceled. That is 100% the biggest DM I get. I can't even go on Amazon Live without getting comments, and I feel so bad because I haven't been in a place to answer it or talk about it. I always knew that I would talk about it. I guess the whole thing has kind of evolved because So
why? So
HGTV asked for a 4th season.
Yeah.
And which was awesome. I'm so grateful for that opportunity and the opportunity that I had for all 3 seasons. So Discovery owned HGTV, and I went back and forth with someone with Discovery about how we could still do No Demo Reno, but make it a little more feasible for my life and the schedule. Because I always told myself I would give myself 3 seasons. I'm going to do 3 seasons, and then we'll kind of assess it from there. I did 3 seasons.
You said that from day one.
Day one.
I remember when you first signed on with them and took the opportunity, you said, I'm going to come in, I'm going to do this 3 seasons. I'm
going to do it 3 seasons, and then we'll play it by ear. Mm-hmm. I love it. I love TV. I love making TV. It's super fun. It doesn't feel like work, and I think it's something that I'm naturally good at. And I don't mean like good as in just like fun to watch. I mean, like, I don't get nervous. I love all the technical stuff behind the scenes. I want to learn how to do all the things. Like, I want to know all the ins and outs. That's why I became an executive producer from season 2 and 3. And I want to be involved in everything, creatively, you know, like all of it. And so it could be also because I'm a little bit of a control freak, but mild.
Okay, so if you love it so much, like you're so why is it gone then?
Okay, so
or not gone? Is it gone?
No. I'm on a pause. I told you that. Okay. I'm just pausing. So I was talking with them for probably 4 months about how can we still do this show, No Demo Reno, but how can I basically offload some of the responsibility onto a team or more people to where it can still live on, but I can take a step back. And ultimately, it just kind of came, which I always knew, but I finally like faced it and accepted it, which is I'm either all in where I have my hands on everything and I'm an executive producer and I'm looking over outlines and I'm approving cuts and raw cuts and giving edits.
And you're the designer.
And I'm doing
You're actually
all the
doing the
designs.
design work. It's not, you know what I mean? You had 2 people helping you out, but you didn't have a full design team that said, here's the house, do you want to do it or not? You were doing everything.
Correct. Which is not standard. And so
I mean, someday they're involved in it, but there's a lot of teams involved once the show gets larger.
Yes.
Sure. Yeah.
And so because I did that, I was I'm like the worst because I was forcing myself to be included in all these things and overseeing them all. And then it was so much. And so I did it to myself and I knew that. But I basically had to come to the realization of like, I'm either all in and I'm over everything or I don't do it. I'm either all, and I'm like that. That's a characteristic of my trait in everything I do. I'm all in or I'm nothing. There's no middle. And to me, giving up control over whether that's letting someone design the spaces for me and me going, yep, that's beautiful. I wasn't going to do that. I wasn't going to give up cuts because what was happening and why looking over raw cuts and like the episodes before they're approved is so big to me is because there were times in every single episode where like a joke didn't hit or it wasn't edited correctly or my humor that I saw it differently in my head. And that was me. That's my personality. And so I'd be like, guys, this is not it. This should go here. It needs to cut off here at this mark. And so I was basically, we had to work. The production company I worked with was great. Yeah. But it took them a while to find editors that edited my style of my personality and my humor.
Right.
And so that all takes time. That's all done. Mind you, I'm filming all day and then I get home and do all the extracurricular activities, put the kids to bed. And then I'd be up at 10:30 having phone calls about why the edits aren't edited correctly. And I, I'm like, the footage is there. Just make it right. Like it's, don't jack with it essentially. Or I'd be fighting for things to be left in. Like I remember fighting so hard. I burped in the middle of a sentence, like season 1. I didn't mean to. I was talking to Victor and it was one of those ones where you're just like talking and the burp comes through it. It was so funny to me. And it was, Victor's face was gold. He just like didn't even flinch because he's so straight and he like answered my question. And then we paused and both laughed at the same time. It was so funny. And I fought to put that in and they would not put it in. And then sure enough, lo and behold, season 3, they kept a burp in where I did the same thing on accident. So like little things like that I was fighting for.
To their defense, people didn't know you. It probably they would have.
They're like, who is this?
Like, who is this
tacky woman? Yes.
On the very first episode, burping.
Well, it wasn't the first episode.
I know, but still.
First season. And
you did have a toilet in the first season, didn't you?
Where I planted those flowers in the toilet.
So they let you do that.
They let me do weird stuff on occasion, but I really had to fight for those things. Season 1, though, I did not have the executive producer title. So that was, we won't get into all those weeds, but I got EP for 2nd and 3rd.
And despite the amount of work that you put into it, I mean, it was a lot.
Yeah.
I think it translated as a lot of authenticity in the show. And I think it's also why that show was very popular because it does speak and sound and show like you because it is you and you were very, very, very involved in it, but that takes a huge toll. And oh, by the way, one thing you didn't mention is you're still trying to maintain relevance and keep up your social media following because that was your first.
I don't like the way you said that. It's not about maintaining relevance. Well, I was trying to keep my joy.
Yeah,
that's what I liked doing.
I guess that's a fair way to say it. I'm not trying to say relevant.
The relevance is the TV show. If you think about it.
Yeah.
And what I love is my platform, which doesn't grow as a rapid, it's a big platform, but it doesn't grow as rapid. If you're really just going to cut it down to like what it is, which is fame grows quicker from being broadcasted on a channel internationally, nationally. But anyway, so after like talking with them for like 4 months, I just wasn't comfortable with it, and it just like hit me, and there was like no turning back. Where I was on the fence before, I like woke up and I was like, why? No, I'm gonna pause. Yeah. And so we were supposed to have a meeting that day with me, and I can't remember if it was Discovery and the production company, but I called Sweet Betsy at HGTV, and I said, I need to talk to you privately before we do a phone call. And I called her, and she was like, what's up? And I was like, I'm going to pause. And she took it really well. She was like, we're obviously devastated. Like, it's not what we want, but we understand. The door's always open.
Yep.
And that's where we left it. And yeah, I was like, you don't need to reach out to me. I know where to find y'all when I want to do it again. And I just said it very nicely because I just didn't want it to be a thing where it's brought up every month where I get a text or a call. Yeah. And I still have conversations with her on occasion about stuff where we pop in and check on each other, and it's not a big deal.
No, it was a great network, and I don't think there was any drama or any.
It was perfect for our family.
Yeah, I wish there was some behind the scenes stuff that we said, like, what like look at this drama. We're not telling you, but I don't really think there's that. There's a lot of navigating, like, the business of television. That's a different thing, but it's not a standpoint of like bad people trying to do bad things at all. They didn't have that. No.
We didn't have any drama, which was great.
But there is a business of television, and it is its own thing about how things get funded and why they and sensing sessions and all these things you do, and that you may totally disagree with. I know there are frustrations, things they're doing it from their perspective, and you're doing it from your perspective, and that's I think.
Well, and going back to like the drama sells, and drama gets watched. I mean, and so there would be, but they knew. What I appreciate about HGTV is like they knew that I was not going to stand for fake scripted crap. Correct. And that I didn't want to be a part of it. I just like, I'll give you enough weird if you just follow me for a little bit. You know what I mean? Like you're either going to love me or hate me. So can we just focus on what we have? So any drama or like hiccups is all real, and it all got stumbled upon. And then they started getting with it. My showrunners were awesome. So Matt and Carl were with me season 2 and season 3, and they knew that I liked being surprised and I liked the authenticity of it. So they would literally like not tell me, and then I'd come in, mic up, and they'd be like, hey, we're about to drop a bomb on you, just so you know. And then they'd be like, and cameras up. And like, I appreciated that because it wasn't scripted and it was real, but nothing was like life or death.
And I know the first episode of the second season when Matt came in, he's a great guy.
Matt Blaine,
but when you came through and your first kind of learning lessons you had with each other about like how you want to do long cuts and everything, run the entire thing to make sure it's authentic and honest. And he came from, he's an Emmy-winning producer.
Gosh. He pivoted. I thought you were going to say the first day, and I'm like, I don't know how you remember that, but it made me think of it. So the first day we ever shot together for season 2, Matt Blaine, he's amazing. He has done fantastic work. He's the real deal. So he comes in. I've never worked with him before. Meeting him the first day of filming, we have a walkthrough with the client. It was with Lindsay Whitfeld, remember? Which is a friend of ours. And so we're walking our house. Mike, that walkthrough of just saying like, this is my kitchen, this is what I don't like, the initial walkthrough that you guys see, 8 hours, the whole day. And I was like, that's insane. A walkthrough should take an hour and a half. So it was his first day. He had never worked with me. We were going back and like reshooting things and blocking, and I was internally combusting because I was like, this is insane that we're filming all this 8 times. So the next morning, this is where I give him credit and why we're good to work together. The next morning, I'm like, hey, so we did it your way yesterday, which was phenomenal. It was a great job. However, I could barely talk today. My throat is so sore.
Right.
Can we do it my way today? And you need to stand behind the cameras. They called it Video Village, and they had like cameras up and you stand behind it. I'm like, I want you to stand behind Video Village, and you can say things from time to time, but just let me be. Let me do it. This is my second season. I've gone through a lot of homes. This is when I was doing 2 homes per episode the first season. I had a crap ton of homes under my belt. A lot of walkthroughs. And so he did it my way. And that was just... And he was great about it. And so that was a testament on like day 1, how I was like a pain in the butt from a standpoint of, a producer, a talent who's like, can you please go into the next room and let me do my thing, which I totally asked for kindly. And ever since then, it was just that kind of a relationship from here on out where I would say, Matt, please stop talking to me. Go away. And he'd be like, got it. And he'd like go into the next room, or he'd be like, I will, but can you give me this one bullet point? Cause you missed this on like why her island isn't focusing on the family, which you need for storyline. For
sure. You got to have that continuity in television, 100%.
So
whereas like this podcast, we can kind of jump around like the ADD cells we are, which is totally appropriate.
But when you're trying, so basically what people don't understand is like when you're making content, if you've never done content or like a TV before, you're telling a story. Yep. And so the story, while it's definitely not scripted television, you do have to have the beginning of what's not working for the family in the home. You have to have the middle, which is all the renovation.
Sure.
And then you have to have the end, which is like really the meat and like what everyone's here for, which is the reveal. And did I check off all these boxes? Right. And so we got to a point where it was like smooth sailing. I would go in, no one's telling me what to say. I'm saying what I want to say. And then on occasion they'd be like, you missed the part about the fridge not fitting. And I was like, got it. And then I'd have to talk about the fridge. Okay. So we had a really good partnership at the end. Like I found my showrunners for sure.
That was great. Industry. So, I mean, in that, connected to that and connected to the showrunners and staff, what do you find was it harder to acknowledge to yourself that you're going to take a pause, or were you more scared about telling the team or telling obviously your followers and fans and people that are casually around? What you found the most like emotional, most, I don't want to say fans. Fear, but most fans?
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure. I know a lot of people like to watch it, and I get DMs every single day about how they wish, like even like a few of them in like an older demographic. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but it really is. A lot of older demographics will be like, this Instagram thing's fine and all, but I want more TV. And so it's like, like a little bit of dagger to my heart, because I totally get it, but I can film this content from my house in between going to pick up my kids, hopping on a business call for Armor with you. And it really is like such a blessing that I'm able, I don't know why I'm getting emotional at this part. We're not even talking about anything crazy, but I hate it. I don't want to film it. I've been
too late. We're here.
I've been given.
Keep it rolling.
I've been given this gift of this flexibility and able to provide jobs and for my kids, and I just feel like that's where my heart is with that right now. And I selfishly love making TV. Like if we're just really going to break it down and be raw, me making TV is such like a selfish fulfillment, because I'm the star and I get to be on TV, and I have HGTV always trying to make me look like I'm a crazy expert professional, and I'm always fighting it because I don't want to be portrayed as that. I want to be portrayed as someone who's a good designer, of course. Mm-hmm. I'm talented in that regard. But like saying Jen Todrick expert with me like staring deadpan into a camera with a hammer, like that's not like what I care to like die as, And so I don't know. I think the hardest was like disappointing that.
Yeah.
A little bit. Also, like I ask myself sometimes, and this like totally goes for like why I answered the question in a way that I did. Whenever I like, it's ridiculous, but like when I'm around my period, usually I'll get like this thought in my head, which is like where it's like a thought not coming from me, but it's a thought coming from other people saying, how could you walk away from filming a TV show? Like, how could you walk away from being more famous? How could you walk away from more money? How could you walk away from people thinking you're so legit? But it's never like me saying it. It's like other people.
You're hearing that in your voice.
Like other people wondering, why would you give that up? Type of thing. And it's so telling that it's never me saying like, why are you doing that? It's always like having to explain and defend to people like why I walked away from a TV show and like why I don't want the empire, if you will.
Well, would you call it walking away?
No. See, I have this little bit of delusion that like I'm not done with TV.
Right.
I don't know if that's God or if it's like me just being overconfident where I'm like, I could do it if I wanted to.
Well, let's like distill it down to the main reason. Like what were you losing, or what was
my kids?
Okay, there you go.
The main reason for not filming is I want to be home, and and I was home. So to be honest, like this is what's even crazier is I really crafted a very good schedule, which is I was out the door at 4:30. So the kids only had like 45 minutes of being at home without me after school. But it's a strain. It's a strain on you to like keep everything going. We've never hired a full-time nanny. We have a lady named Susie who's been the only one to watch our kids ever. And she's awesome. And she would come during the day when Viv was little and not in school. But like it was us still showing up to pick them up every day and take them to school and be the first and last face they see in and out the door. And that's something I've always been protective of and I want. However, I was noticing that like I would get close to that 4:30 and I would be like, oh my gosh, exhausted. We have softball. We have choir. And it's like almost like a negative, which I hated. You know, I love like seeing our kids succeed and stuff. And so I felt like they weren't, while I would fake it till I make it, as far as like I'm energetic and I'm still good, they weren't getting like the best mom.
Sure.
In a way.
I mean, this is an unrelated question. I mean, do you think that's relevant to full-time moms that try to
100%.
Full-time like, working moms?
That is not just someone who's on TV. Yeah. Like that's in every mom thing.
So
but again,
working, not working. I mean, you think it's, I think a lot of, from your.
But the difference is I have a choice.
Yeah.
And I have the privilege of having other jobs that can provide.
Sure.
So why am I holding on to this specific one? And if if I have other jobs and other ways to make income, the TV show is just to be like me. And I don't care about that. That's how it felt in my mind. It's like, I'm really the only one gaining anything on being in the television. You're grinding back at home and getting the kids to and from places, and I get to have fun being in front of a camera and being funny. And like, again, if it's your full-time job, that's different. Yeah. But I had options.
That's right.
I did TV secondary to everything Instagram else. And everything else that had already been built. And so they jumped in because I already had notoriety from that, and they found me from that.
Do you think the kids care that you're not filming?
It's so funny. They didn't want me to film in the minute because they weren't like ever vocal. They loved.
I said your kids, like they're not ours. I'm like Todrick. I'm interviewing Jenn Todrick right now.
No, they loved it when they were in it. Vaughn and Berkeley were very Vaughn and Berkeley were very into being in scenes and whatnot. Vivi did not. That's why she's barely in season 3. And I was never. I mean, we did her room in season 3 though. Yes, but the whole crew, and she was fine for that. But the whole crew would like come in for a whole day of like family. Shots of different things, picking out paints and whatnot, and it would be centered around the family, and Viv would be like, I don't want to do it. Right. And we'd never force her. So it just was like Viv wasn't there for like season 3.
Yeah, I mean she was 4.
She was a baby.
Yeah, I mean there's time when like there's a lot of ups and downs that go on at that point. Obviously you said it's paused. Do you see yourself coming back as a No Demo Reno? Do you see yourself evolving to do something else on it, whether it's related to TV or YouTube or whatever? I mean, kind of curious what you would think. And I'm actually asking that genuinely because I want to know.
I know you. It's true. He asks me all the time. He's like,
what do you think? What do you think next?
Yeah. I see both. Honestly, I could see after the kids are older. I actually don't know. I was thinking I'd take like a year, and here we are, 2 years paused.
Yeah.
And I'm still good. Staying paused. And so I don't know. I definitely do feel like if I'm going to create like any kind of series, I would want to do it on YouTube, like my YouTube, because then I could just retain total control. But then again, that's just asking for, essentially I'm a production company at that point, which terrifies me with stuff like that. So, but I don't know why. I have a large platform that gets a large amount of views. I don't know why I wouldn't just do it on my own platforms, and then those who want to watch it, great.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, but
I mean, I don't know.
Look, my opinions, obviously the way people consume content has dramatically changed over the last 10 years and accelerated even in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
How often do our children watch traditional television?
Never.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's interesting just from a standpoint. And even our kids, remember when they're asking the kindergartners what they wanted to be when they grew up? Even that age, remember what the number one thing?
I was sweating. I was like, I really don't think my kids know what an influencer is, but I really hope they don't say that. Like I was just like not wanting to cringe because there were so many kids that said YouTube.
YouTube. It was the number one thing.
YouTuber.
These are kindergartners.
These are 5-year-olds. Yeah. And I was like, please don't say it because it's going to look like I'm molding my children. Viv said a chef. Yep. And we were like, respectable.
Yeah, we love it. But that's only because of Berkeley.
I know.
She wants to be a dancer.
Hey, not that a YouTuber isn't respectable.
That's great.
That's where the money's at.
Well, it's not just money. Real. No, here's the one thing about direct to consumer content. And I'll say this. If you had any frustration, and I'm going to speak for you as a question, or kind of like speaking and asking a question at the same time. What was your number one frustration you had dealing with the network and dealing with the production company? Why? What was it about it?
This is risky.
No, that's not risky. But why? No, this isn't risky because this is honest, and this is about the reality of traditional media versus being the one who can control and direct the content. Right? What is the network's number one goal?
The problem is the network feels like they know their audience. Correct. And so if I don't fit the mold of what their audience likes, then they try to edit it that way, which isn't a bad thing because HGTV is so wholesome. And like, again, I wouldn't want to be on another network.
And they never did any sneaky editing.
Never. They were amazing. So I'm not saying this in a negative way, but everyone has to look out for themselves. And so they're looking for what they need out of you. Correct. And I'm trying to protect who I am as a person.
Yeah. And I'll say just from a business perspective, because I called myself the eye candy of the show, which is still true. Thank you. True. It's amazing. If you look at the Nielsen ratings, the spikes that would come up, I'd be on for 5 minutes. When you would come on for like 4 minutes. Spike up for like, it's crazy.
All the recordings were pushed.
It really was.
Weird.
It was
mildly inappropriate.
I told you hashtag more Mike was trending for years. Every time more Mike. It's just weird that always would come up. But I can say this is from a standpoint of looking at the business perspective. The network is in it. They're a corporation. Their job is to create returns for their investors. 100%. And that means making money, and that means keeping advertisers happy, right? So that's the thing that the goal is. You create good content so you have great advertisers.
And that's every network.
And that's all traditional television.
Yes.
When it comes to podcasts and direct-to-consumer, like YouTube contents, things like that, the main goal isn't just to keep advertising happy because you get to pick that.
Yes.
We get to have the idea to say, here's our voice.
Yeah.
We can say what we want, kind of the form that we want.
Right.
And then hopefully the people that want to be a part of it will be a part of it.
Right.
And then you get to choose the brands that you want to work with. And that's sort of what you do with social media, right?
Totally.
So,
and in fact, you'll probably hear every ad on this podcast will be someone I work with on Instagram because why wouldn't I give them the opportunity? Yeah. Like they're who I work with and who I like.
Yeah.
So it will be pretty repetitive because that's what I want to do. Yeah. And exactly, you're right. It's related. My job is super relationships based if you really think about it, as far as like the brands and whatnot, like especially if I love them and it's what makes this a job,
right?
So
I'm not saying get rid of the network, like say removing that component of that. There's still a lot more work. Yeah, if you become the production company and that's managing a whole other business.
And again, the network thing is not bad. I think if you don't come already creating content full time on a platform that you built to a large scale, you don't have my perspective. And so you're just pumped and you don't need to say. You're like, holy crap, I'm in a television show. Right. Like, this is insane. I didn't even know I could look like this. Like, I look like a real TV host. Like, I even remember I watched the first episode and I was like, holy crap, this is a real show. Like, this is insane because I had never seen me like in an edited format. However, because I did create content for years before and I had been my own boss already and I had already built something to a large scale, I was like, hold on, that's not funny. This could be 10 times funnier. Remember when I said that? And I had a lot more opinions, which makes it more stressful. So again, not every talent's like that because they don't have say. Right. They just are there to shoot, they show up, and then they leave. And they don't have to worry about it, and they see it when the world sees it.
That's correct.
So I asked for all that. Right. I mean, if we're being honest, I asked for all that stress and what feels like conflict at times. I put that on myself, but again, I had to look in the mirror and be like, I'm not comfortable handing it. We have too much to risk to hand it over to someone, and then it's totally skewed from what I believe in, what I said, etc. Because I already have something existing. I already had notoriety before the show. Yeah. They just got to capitalize off of what I had already built from a notoriety standpoint. Yeah. And then, of course, I gained from HGTV too as a mutual relationship, but I mean, they knew what they were doing. I was promoting it for a year, like while I was filming it on a very large platform. They didn't pay me for that. That was free advertising. And I was excited to do it. That's not a negative.
Yeah.
But there's a reason why you're seeing networks pull influencers in after my show, because it works. If it's the right talent,
correct, it
will work.
Right.
And so it's smart.
The more authentic people they have, the better all content is, and I hope that's what most people consume. There's a lot of great content creators out there that legitimately make shows that are super high quality. You're like, wow, this is a great documentary on here. This is a great, Ryan Trahan, my kids are watching that whole thing, 50 States, and it's like, this is really good content. This is pretty good. Like,
right.
And
he's doing it. And you know what's crazy is like, okay, so social media can be super inauthentic, right? Oh, don't even get us talking about AI. But like, you see like inauthenticity all the time on social media. But do you know what's kind of changed standard TV and changed? These networks are having to evolve because people like me who then come onto their network, it really does you have to be more authentic if that talent wants it to be like them. Do you know what I'm saying? And so before, where a talent got no say in how something was like perceived, this is why if we're going to be, I'm fine sharing that. It's not a big deal. I had to hold out for like 6 months to film season 2 because I would not do it without executive producer credit, and they were not going to give that. And so I waited out 6 months. No, thank you. I only want the one thing. That's what I want. Yeah. And they did it.
Which is ironic. You didn't ask for any pay for it.
I know.
That's the thing is what it was. This wasn't a monetary thing at all.
I wasn't going to get into that.
Yeah.
But
it wasn't.
And they're usually paid well.
Yeah.
And so I forewent that.
This was to
have control.
You wanted to create great content, make sure the voice was relevant to you. And season 1 was a super interesting show because it was like we had, remember it was filming during COVID. There were 3 different showrunners. People, it was just it was a hot mess.
It was a mess.
And it wasn't your fault. It was just a hot mess of like all the situations of the world and just there's
a lot I'm not sharing because we don't have time for this. But season 1 was a hot mess.
Probably a whole podcast on that.
Yes,
season 1.
It came to a point where I was like, this is what I have, or I'm not doing it, essentially. And it had to be that way so I could gain control, so I could fix it, essentially, and make it authentic to myself. And I will say season 1 was a great season, but if you watch season 3, I just feel like we ended so freaking good. It was so good. Yeah. It was me. I felt like it was walking into like little pieces of me. Even the OTFs, the on the fly interviews where I'm looking kind of straight past the camera, you can tell I'm just talking. Like it's not bullet points. And I really liked how it evolved. I loved how it evolved.
Well, I know he was emotional when you rapped. That was
because I knew I was done. Yeah. Everyone was like, talent says they're going to quit all the time and they never quit. And I'm like, guys, this is our last hug. You have to hug me. Yeah. And I knew. And I don't know if anyone else knew, but I still text people in the crew randomly, like camera ops, audio. I still talk to my showrunners probably every few months. They'll send me a text on something. We're still in touch, even though we're not making TV, which is wild. But
so I've been looking over at my notes here, and I have a whole bunch of different questions. When I've made, like, pretty much you hit about all of them, because I was going to ask you, like, what the emotion, has it been bigger for you and all everything? Hit everything on that one. What's changed since the show has been done in your life? Like,
well, I'm an athlete now.
I knew that was coming up.
I got a hobby.
How about that?
I play tennis. And before that, I haven't had a hobby since before having kids.
It's true.
I would say I started the blog in 2015, which is
that was your hobby.
That was my hobby.
Yeah,
but my hobby quickly became a full-time job, which I love.
Well, you treated it like a full-time job.
I'm all in or I'm nothing, right? We already covered this like 20 minutes ago.
I think there are prior episodes, and I'm sure last season we talked about this as well. Was it 2019? No, 2018. Remember, or January 1st, 2018. We talked about resolutions.
Okay.
And I was like, you were working and doing so much content. You did nothing. You did no brand deals. You didn't do affiliate links. You didn't do anything. You were just sharing. Yes,
January 2008.
Yeah.
No. I started like full time.
2018.
2019 is when I actually like started it as a job.
Okay, so that was January 2019 then. Yeah. I was like, okay, we had, but it wasn't even, you never even focused on that as a thing. Anyway, so this whole career that you developed was never to the intent to be number one, to great fame, to do anything. I think you've always wanted to do things that was just sharing things that you loved and liked and making people laugh and bring joy to people. And that's always been kind of what you're.
Well, yeah. And we talked about this, but like the word influencer didn't exist when I started this.
I still hate that word.
I still don't talk about that word. I'm a content creator.
You're a mom. What do you call yourself?
Mom on Instagram.
Mom on Instagram.
Well, I'm like there's like a group of like OGs that did it not knowing what it was. Yeah. And it's a pretty small group and we're all still doing it, but we're old. Yeah. Like we're not TikTokers.
Oh, wow.
I feel like I am.
By the way, happy birthday.
That was random. Our birthday was last month.
Not even.
Happy birthday to you, babe.
It's only been a couple weeks.
Okay.
You're now upper 30s.
Don't talk about it.
Round up. What are you?
I'm mid 30.
No, you can't round down.
Mid 30s.
37.
Charity, my producer, is behind the camera. I think she's loving this because she's a year older than me. Charity's about to be 38, and then I can talk crap for a whole nother 11 months.
I'm young for a man, though.
Young for a man? What does that even mean?
I don't know. That sounded really awful. I don't know what you can edit that out. I don't know. I'm just saying that to try to like make myself feel better about being named Mike, and I'm 49. By the way, have you ever met a Mike under 40? Right.
It doesn't exist.
Why did that name go away? It was the coolest name. You know what's crazy
is we didn't have any Mikes in like school and high school. I remember like 2 Michaels.
Michael's still around. Michael's still a name around, but I have yet to meet Little Mike. And I'm like, it's got to come back.
Because Little Mike sounds like a horror film.
When I was...
Little Mike in theaters. Horrible. Anyway, so it's changed. So I have a hobby.
But I want to say, if you're doing, you're welcome to name your kid Mike. You can call him Little Mike or Big Mike. It used to be a thing.
I don't know.
I don't ever
agree with a baby being named Mike, but it's just me.
My name is Mike.
I know, and you were once a baby named Mike, but I didn't have to see you like that.
Listen,
I knew you as grown man Mike.
Old names are coming back, so it's going to be Mike's coming back.
It's such I feel like Mike is a northern name. I feel like I didn't know any Mikes growing up. I knew Michaels though.
There's plenty of Michaels.
Yeah.
But how many Jens are there now? Baby Jen.
27 million.
No, but I haven't met a single one of our kids' friends named Jen.
Oh, like Jennifer?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
It's a name that's kind of gone away.
100%. And like Courtney, Brittany, those Stephanie, no one's naming their kids that right now.
No. Mm-mm. But all the kids are named like Wood Chip and
my baby Wood Chip
and River Stain and things like that.
River Stain? How do you come up with these names?
But there are some wild names. Or your name is Jennifer, but it's spelled JHENNYHFER.
Like different spellings.
You're like, what?
Can we not insult the entire audience that has children right now? Let's just step away from
our children's names aren't really traditional.
Ours aren't either.
Von, V-O-N.
Yeah. Oh, that's German. It's fine. So yeah, I'm playing tennis, and I always joke. There's so many times where if I like put anything about tennis on Instagram, like anyone at that network is like, this lady quit this to play tennis. Like having the time of my life. Hey, I love it.
You just ranked up?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're moving up levels. This is great.
Moving up in flight, me and the team. It's been a really, really, really fun experience. We have a team of just super joyful, happy women, and it's been amazing.
And I've played 3 times and can still beat you, so there's that.
That's such a lie.
Who won last time we played?
With you and the other guy?
Yes.
Yeah, the guys kicked the girls' butts. I mean,
I'm talking about my match versus you guys.
I don't remember that one, but I do love that it was so impactful for you. I do not remember that.
You are actually, when you and I played in Mexico, you were good. I was like, dude, I was doing good here.
I also carried you on our first mixed doubles match against the Langs.
I mean, I don't know if that's
carried you on
100% true.
I carried your
okay. Well, we can record.
All you did was lose points, and I had to make up for it.
Listen, next time we'll pause on this one here and say the next time that we do a match, we'll update. Okay.
We'll update the audience.
This is riveting content.
I actually think this is a good place for us to stop, and then we should write this down.
Well, we got one more thing we got to do. We can't stop.
Okay, one more thing.
What did we do at the end of... We can't
stop! We just got back to the podcast!
What did we do at the end of every last season?
Jar of random questions.
One of my favorite things to possibly do, because this is where we get to talk about absolutely nothing.
Okay.
And then have debates like we just did about tennis.
30 minutes onto the podcast of random
These are good ones. So this one, I think we just each ask one.
Okay.
Right? Sound good? Okay. And I
love how you're going to know them and I won't.
If you don't see it, we actually literally got some questions left over from 18, 24 months
2
ago.
years ago.
2 years ago.
It's a little dusty job.
I got a couple that I printed out that were online as well here on it. Would you want me to draw one or you want to pick a number?
I'll pick a number.
You pick a number on one of these ones? Okay. Go ahead.
In honor of it being August 12th.
Okay.
And Tay-Tay is dropping her 12th album. Did you
course.
hear about that?
I did not know about that, nor...
It's happening.
I feel dumber for knowing this now.
You're killing our audience. Do you know your audience, Mike?
I mean, I'm not going to say I haven't played some T Swift when the girls are in the car. I jam around.
You're a girl dad. Okay, so we'll do 12.
I like New York. What's that song, New York?
New York.
I do like that song.
No, wait. That was
no,
Beyonce and Jay-Z that I just sang.
No. What's the New York? The one that was in
to
New York. Yeah.
Okay, well, I sang Jay-Z.
And then I sang it with you like I knew what I was talking about. Go. You want what number? You want 12?
12.
Okay. If you could be instantly amazing at one completely useless skill, what would it be?
Oh.
Like best in the world at something
in the world?
that has no relevance to being a better person.
Tennis.
That's you. So you would be a multi-millionaire. That's not a useless skill. How is that useless if you're the top athlete in the entire world?
Okay. Well, I'm just thinking if I'm the best in the world at anything, I kind of would.
But the question is it has to be a useless skill, like knife juggling or something like that.
Why would I care about juggling knives? I want to play tennis.
I don't know. I'm giving you like an idea of it.
Okay.
Little fit, like pillow fluffer.
That's the dumbest thing to ever waste that on.
Also useless.
Okay.
But you got to be really good at it.
Understanding the question.
Okay, it has to be something.
Isn't good?
It has. Well, you are answering something that would be like an awesome thing. That's like saying, "Well, would you be the best in the world, like tennis?" Cool. You're now beating.
I want to be able. Then I would be the best at reading people's minds.
Also, not useless. Also, super helpful.
I only get one shot at this. I'm not going to waste it on something stupid.
I'm the judge here.
Okay, what's your answer?
No, my answer again. If you want to be super useless skill,
okay.
Let's see.
Like I can't even. My brain doesn't even think that way. I'm gonna think. I'm not even able to think of something dumb.
Like I want to say like the best at card tricks, but that's super useful because then you're now a professional magician. That would be super cool.
So what answer would be acceptable for you?
Well, let's go back to think about maybe. I was thinking at the top of my head. I could hold the most cups in one hand. Super useless.
Lame.
But
I'm going to stick with tennis.
That's not useless.
Well, it is for my life right now, but then I'd make it into something useful. I don't need to be good at tennis right now, so it's useless, but then I'll also become a superstar athlete.
What about hair braider? That's what I would be good at. That's also useful because it probably...
I would love for you to learn. I've tried to ask you
to
learn so we could do it with the girls before school. This is a horrible question. I'm getting angry.
Figure out.
Like my
but everything
blood
you said
level is rising. Like my answer's not good enough.
Maybe
Sorry that I'm better at thinking productivity than you.
Yeah, but that's useful. The question qualifier was useless. Fine. You can ask me something. You want to
pick a number.
You want a number or do this one?
Pick a number.
All right, number. I honestly actually didn't read them. So, and
hold on, you read 13. I said 12.
Oops.
We're gonna read 12 in honor of T Swift here.
My bad.
Ready?
I can't. That's my little ability to.
Okay, I already know this is gonna be a fight. Which one of us would do better on Survivor, and how would we get voted off?
I wouldn't get voted off. So there in itself determines that I'd be the number one. You would get voted off. Wrong.
I think you would like.
I wouldn't be. You'd be the heel.
No, you'd be like the know-it-all who would know too much because you actually do know too much random information, and people would maybe get sick of it.
But I'm also very.
And they'd be like, "Oh, Mike thinks he's the smartest. Let's vote him off."
Like, oh, look at me! I'm just.
They'll be like, "Look at Jen. She's just kind of acts like an idiot. She's not threatening. We'll keep her on."
Then they vote you out. Actually, I don't think you could vote. You would last a while, but then you'd be intimidating. Would you be the heel? Could you be the villain? Could you be the villain? The villain might be a fun guy to be.
I don't think I'd do good as the villain.
But the villains aren't really the villains. That's just the production company making it.
Yeah, that's true.
That's really what it is.
Usually, it's
so it's like okay, because they got to have a villain.
So you think I'm going to be a villain on Survivor, but not get voted off quicker?
What would be cool about that is it's so like against who you are. Would be fun to see that on TV.
Like a villain?
Like suddenly you're like just totally different on Survivor, just cutthroat, selfish.
These are my coconuts.
They have no idea.
Give me these coconuts.
Okay, it's always behind the scenes. We're like, oh,
wait, is Survivor an island?
Yeah, you haven't seen Survivor?
So there's coconuts.
Great show.
Give me my coconuts. Okay.
I don't know. I mean, there's challenges.
I'm thinking of Naked and Afraid, which I would be voted off within the first 5 minutes.
You'd vote yourself
I'd be walking around like covering
You would
privates.
literally vote yourself off.
Oh, I'd be like, send me out of here. A bug bite on my butt cheek.
Naked and Afraid is not.
Pass.
You don't get voted off on that one.
Oh, okay.
Now I'll say this about Survivor.
So who would survive?
I think we both would have a chance. You know why? Because if we're on the season together, we would make a good team.
We'd be a power couple in Survivor. You'd be like really wicked intelligent about useless facts, and it would help us survive. And then I think I would be pretty good at.
Yeah, you'd need some outdoor skills and things like that.
What would I be good at?
I think you're
trying to think. I'm like, I'm not.
You're good at making friends.
I'm scrappy. Sure. So like I'm not afraid of mud.
You could design the crap out of a hut. Make it look real pretty, like this office. Guys,
you want a house tour?
We're gonna make our living quarters so pretty.
I'm pretty tough. Like I'm not afraid of things except cockroaches. I have high pain tolerance.
But I'm not.
That's where I can kick butt.
But that show also isn't about pain. I don't know. I guess we got to watch it and catch up and think about it.
Giving much.
Fun fact: we haven't watched this show together.
Maybe we should watch
one time. Maybe we should. Maybe this is.
I've never seen it at all.
Maybe this is a challenge. Okay, that was fun. So if you want to like send in questions for the jar,
yes.
At one of the last episodes we did last year as well, we had people send in some voice recordings. So if you want to take a little voice memo,
that was like our highest listened to episode.
If you have very specific questions, Charity, who's our awesome producer, she can seam in the question and we can answer it. And we won't listen to it beforehand, which is we didn't do last year, and it made it really cool. We just listened to it on the phone and then they put it in. I thought that was a really cool thing because it really actually felt like we're interacting with. Which is cool.
I like surprises.
Yeah.
So like how you get to pick the question, or like we get to hear them for the first time, and I feel like it screams like only authentic because you're on the spot and you can't edit.
So the place to send it. Obviously, people are going to send it over to your DMs and even mine maybe, but the place if you really want it to be seen is going to be a Gmail account that's at you, me, and Mike.
All spelled out.
Podcast. At gmail.com.
You, me, and Mike podcast, all letters at gmail.com.
But not all letters in there. You don't actually type out all letters.
You're so
because that's going to be a really long one. Charity will put it in here as well. If you're watching on video, you, me, and Mike.
She'll put it at the top of the screen.
Let me try again. Bottom. In the show notes. That's where it is.
Thanks, Charity.
It's like we've never done this before.
We're a little rusty. Thank you all so much for listening. I know this was a bumpy episode, our first one, but we're really excited. We'll probably jump into next episode we'll do another little update of like the businesses and the family and not just show focused kind of past that.
There's some things happening in Armor that, I don't know, some things we need to share about it next episode.
Yeah, it'll be really fun.
Is it good? Or is it bad?
Okay.
Or is this a stupid
Mike should have done like television, like cheesy cliffhangers. Thanks, guys. Thanks for listening.
Thank you. Let's do better.
How do we say bye last? Hold on. How did I say bye last
time? We high fived.
Never.
Yeah, it was. You were on the other side of the bed. There we go.
Air five. All right. Thanks,
we'll see you
guys.
next episode, guys.
I want to say the last word. Goodbye, guys. Bye. Just kidding.